guys, it's JQ Crafty here with another Use Up the Things using my cut files. And so I'm going to work on this one today. I had kind of talked about it last week that I had this beautiful coffee mug from the September Creative Cuts Club, along with this older authentique collection that's very, I think it was like almost like a Valentine's collection, but I really like the muted tones and stuff, and I'm going to use this. And then as I was like going through my stuff, I was like, wait a second, why am I wasting a coffee mug on a picture of my son having cocoa when, duh, in the December kit. Now see, I was trying to be good and use them in consecutive order, but I'm not going to. In the December kit for Creative Cuts Club, we got this adorable hot cocoa mug. Plus, Christina put in these cute little palms for the marshmallows. And it comes with this little snowflake, which is on our mugs. And we got a exclusive Scrap and Happen Studio epoxy flare that says Stay Cozy that also is supposed to go in the center of the mug, or you can use it. So I think I'm going to use that instead. So let's get started.
Okay, so first, the way I like to scrapbook, if I'm going to do a cut file, I'm going to back my cut file first, because that way it has time to kind of set and dry, and there's other things I can do while that's drying. I always sometimes I start doing other things and I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this? Because now I have to wait and it could be done. So I don't know if that's how everybody else kind of does it, but same thing, obviously mixed media backgrounds, I start doing them first unless I don't think of it till later. But yeah, I start backing my cut file. So I'm going to start backing this. I decided to go with this red chunk that was in there for the candy cane and the handle. And then I decided to do this plaid because I noticed there was a slight blue stripe in the plaid, almost like a turquoisey, minty, somewhere around there. Definitely an in-between color. So I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to use the back of the rose paper to mat my photo because I'm trying to use this stuff up. It doesn't matter to me that rose paper is getting used up. I'm not going to use the rose on this layout anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I started going through stuff to try and find some papers, and I found some blues that I thought would work. And then I remembered, so tomorrow there is going to be a hop for Kay's mom. She is a fellow YouTuber who reached a subby goal, and we are hopping tomorrow, so make sure you tune in tomorrow. I'll give you more details tomorrow too. But we are scraplifting some of her layouts, and I actually found 3 and I couldn't choose between them. So I'm doing one tomorrow, and I have a video for that tomorrow, but I decided to do another one of hers, and at the end of this I'll show you what her layout was so you can see the inspiration. So I cut a bunch of strips. They were all the same size, but then like the scrap pieces that were left over after I cut them were slightly skinnier, and I kind of liked adding the skinnier stripe or skinnier strip of paper in there too. So I just went with 3 papers, cut 2 of each, decided to do some I grabbed some brown cardstock since I was rambling on and not paying attention to what I'm doing on the screen here. I grabbed some, and I did a lot of editing apparently. I grabbed some brown cardstock. I'm never going to use it anyway, but I thought it went well because everything else is kind of a craft and brown and warm. And I went and took weathered wood, and I did some blending just into the edges. And then I wanted to add a stamp of some snowflakes. So I went through my stash of all my stamps, and I found 2 sets that I have. Actually, I think I have 3 sets that have snowflakes in them. This one was the biggest snowflake I had, and then another, and is jelly bean soup. So I used 2 from the jelly bean soup, and then 3 tiny ones from, I don't remember what that other collection, or where those stamps are from. I can't think of it at the moment. But I decided to go, I kind of was swatching all the colors, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and decided to make it more subtle. So I decided to do iced spruce? Yeah. Iced spruce in the snowflakes. And so I did I think I did 5 different sizes and kind of off the page, just kind of, and it turned out way better than I thought in my mind. So then I popped my little collage of my photo, and my epoxy flare and my cut file up on foam. And now I'm like, all right, we need something else. I'm going to use that epoxy flare to basically be my title. I mean, stay cozy. This is not like, it doesn't need like a big, bold title. It's just a nice little photo of my son drinking hot cocoa, snuggling with the cat. So I went through my little crate I have of just random ephemera from other collections, and I had that stuff, and they just weren't, I didn't have a lot of wintry stuff. And then I remember, oh my gosh, so I'm using these Creative Cuts cut file. Why don't I go through all the stuff I got for my advent calendar? Because I keep, not that I forget about my advent calendar, but it's like I have it tucked in over here. And so I went through all the envelopes, all the bags, all the folders I had from my Redefine Creative advent calendar I got this year. And in bag 12, there were these cute little rubber, I think they might be erasers, but they're little rubber charms of some creatures. And one of the other ones, I don't remember which one that was, that I just found that sticker. It's like a cute little treat bag, and it came with 3 different stickers. So I used one of the stickers to kind of repeat the circle element with the epoxy flare. And then bag 18, day 18, I had these 2 giant felt snowflakes, and it came with glitter, like a glitter paint, I think is what it is, in like pen form. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are perfect. So I actually used up 2 days of my advent calendar, which is awesome. So I glued those down, and I'm going to glue the little creatures down. And then I'm thinking, that blue of that snowflake is just standing out too much. And then I'm like, well, I have this glitter paint. Why don't I paint it? So that's what I did. And I love it because then it turned it to like a deeper blue, and then it matches the epoxy flare more. I think that looks perfect. And then I'm going to use that almost like Nuvo drops, and I'm going to drop it around. And that Nuvo drop I got out, I'm not even going to use because I end up using a lot of this glitter paint instead. And yeah, I love when things come out like this, like as you're creating, you're like, oh, what about this? Oh, I have this. And you remember things that are in your stash and you pull them in. It just works well. So thanks for watching. This was my use of the things. I used up 2 advent calendars. I used another cut file. I kind of demolished that partial kit. Now I have just enough stuff to make maybe a card with, and putting my little palms on, and that's it. So here's a close-up, here's the full layout, and my inspiration. Thank you for watching again. Tune in tomorrow for the fantastic hop, the subby hop for Kay's mom, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye!